Welcome to Hollywood. Around the Oscars, this place is a real madhouse, but really, forget about Angelina Jolie, forget about Brad Pitt, because the real star is right behind me. 60 years of SL and Hollywood, and that's what we're gonna have a look at. 60 years of SL are also 60 years of SL and Hollywood. And who would ask why? I mean, this car was always a star, and of course had to mingle with the stars. Already back in the 1950s, it was part of many important movies. Nowadays, the 300 SL is of course a one-of-a-kind design icon and incredibly expensive. But back in the 1950s when it came out, it was as well on top of everybody's wanted list. This eternal beauty and design of course makes it so popular, and it has endured both in Hollywood and on roads for over 60 years. But let's have a look at some of the other SLs and how this model has changed and evolved over the last 60 years, and let's discover some of the qualities that make it so popular with Hollywood.
Then came the 1960s. The SL evolved, as did the drinks at lunchtime.
Already back in the 1960s, Mercedes followed the motto, the best or nothing. After the 300 SL came this 280 SL Pagoda, named after the shape of the roof. And that too became a style icon. Then came the 70s and the 80s. Disco was on, and the aesthetics of the cars definitely changed. Brown seems to be a very popular color in the 1970s, but I can say this 1970s SL looks pretty good. And if you wanted to go and party in New York City, Studio 54 was the place to be. And if you pull up in one of those babies, I'm pretty sure you would end up behind the rope on the sunny side of life. Then came the 1990s. Some political systems crumbled while others flourished. The new economy boomed and people were making a lot of money. And if you were successful, you of course wanted a nice car. And if you made it in Hollywood, this definitely was a car you would buy. And not only in Hollywood was this really the sign of great success.
With the dawn of the new millennium, Mercedes slowly but surely abandoned the square and sharp-edged design of the predecessor and came out with a very sleek and sporty looking car. And this has actually endured until now, and it's just in 2012 that it's being replaced. And it's easy to say why, because it is a stunning car, and I can attest, it's a great ride. After 60 years of evolution, this is the 2012 model, the final stage. But I have to say, I really like the classics, and each age has its own special little quality. And I sincerely hope I'll get a chance to drive one of those classic cars.
Well, now it's time to drive. And actually, any SL will do. But I think there is something very special in store for me. Oh yes, indeed very special. So I'm dressed for the occasion. The shades are there. Now, I got the suede driving gloves. There probably is nothing that beats driving a 300 SL, especially in the Californian hills. And you would be surprised how easy this car is to drive. But of course, with a car worth nearly $1 million, I'd rather be a little bit more careful. But it is a sublime ride. And if you're driving an old-timer, this probably is the pinnacle.